Now we go to our next pre-final. It's Junior Rotax. Let's have a look at the starting grid. On the front row, it's Boluet and Kasper Schurmans with Louet on pole position. Tino Sidler and Armand Hamilton rounding out the top two rows on the grid. Kenan Barton, then we've also got Mika van der Pavert and Kenan Bartenstein on row 3. Matej Radenkovic and Ruben Verheyen, row 4. And completing the top 10, Ryan Bourguignon from France, and from the Netherlands, Boris Maximov. Casper Nissen, Krik Knoren, Lucas Sells, Olivier Jonkers, Max Cuthbert, Batuan Kumas, Danny Shields, Sebastian Koch, Victor Galmiche, and Zane Quaker ran at the top 20. Timo Jungling will start 21st ahead of Marlon Di Salvo, Thomas Ingram Hill, Jake Menton, Sinja Onball, Glenn Schvillens, Mads Larsen, Luca Cullen, and Kaz Tobben. That's your 29-strong grid. So Louet and Schurmans were the only two heat winners yesterday. Schurmans picking up the victory in heats 1 and 2, and Louet taking the victory in heat number 3. And at the moment, based on previous form here in what I've seen over the course of the past few weeks or so in Europe, that Kasper Schurmans is the one that has been on form. Winter Cup winner at Karting Campos. The inaugural Rotax Max Challenge Asia Festival winner in Langkawi last December, thereby already qualifying for Bahrain. But quite a few drivers that will be in clear contention, and those are at the sharp end. Sidler, Hamilton, Van der Pavert. Radenkovic is also a known quantity within junior Rotax competition, especially with some dynamite performances last year in 2022. So 13 minutes on the timer plus an additional lap. The red lights are on the gantry. We are under starters' orders for the Junior Rotax pre-final here at the home of champions Karting Genk. So with 29 drivers in the 2x2 side-by-side rolling start formation. Into the tram lines, Rotax engines roar into life. Are we ready? Are we steady? Lights are out. Good start by Boluet at the front of the field. And Tino Sidler follows through behind him as Kasper Schurmans keeps it pinned to the outside. As there's been a multi-card incident, unfortunately, one of which is the 203 who was backwards, Victor Galmiche. I even spotted Luca Cullen backwards as well. Slightly off track there from Boluet going through out of turn 4 and into 5. Means that Mika van der Pavert now up into second position, but Kasper Schurmans has the initial race lead. Battle for 7th position side by side down the Europalan. They go for the first time. That is for 6th and 7th, all in a train at the moment. Schurmans taking the initial advantage. There has been a possible change behind Tino Sidler for 6th place. Could be Ryan Bourguignon that's got past Armand Hamilton. They make their way through. The right-hand sweeper here at turn 10. Treacherous conditions, nevertheless. They've got to have full confidence and self-belief in both themselves, as Armand Hamilton is a rocket ship round the outside of Tino Sidler into turn number 12 and gets the undercut. The 210 from Switzerland has the over-under done on him, but then gets the slipstream. Looks to pull to the inside of Armand Hamilton through into turns 1 and 2. Bumps over the curbing through turn 1, gets through on him, but then also gets through on Casper Nissen, but then loses to the Dane instantly. Armand Hamilton trying to look round the outside, has to switch to the inside through out of turn 3, and turn 4, and then into turn 5. He's also got the 272, that's Krik Knoren, who started down in 12th position and now is into a genuine top 10 place. Now again, a move up the inside through turn 7 on Tino Sidler. And that was Armand Hamilton who got through. And so is Krit Knoren. So Sidler drops down a couple of positions now. But at the moment, at the front of the field, Kasper Schürmann looks to have gotten an early breakaway. It might be a considerable one, probably the best part, at least 7/10 of a second. Coming out of turn number 11, Mika van der Pavert in second place. Third, it is currently the 224 of Boluet. Matej Radenkovic, I did say watch out for him, he started 7th, he's now in 4th. Casper Nissen, Armand Hamilton, Krit Knoren, Tino Sidler. Max Cuthbert has made some inroads as well, up from 15th to 9th. There's now the change between Louet and Radenkovic has happened through out of turn number 3 and into 4. And Louet trying to see if he can get past, takes a tighter line than Radenkovic coming out of turn 6. They were nearly sidewall to sidewall coming out of the corner whilst they applied the throttles. And Louet trying everything in his power to get through, but still has to hold on to 4th for the minute. Schürmann's lead over Mika van der Pavert was actually just under a second after the opening 2 laps. Keep your eyes on Casper Nissen, Armand Hamilton and Krit Knoren. They are catching Louet and Radenkovic. Louet currently in 4th, Radenkovic 3rd. Schürmann looks to further build that gap and puts in a 1 minute 11.9 and extends that gap by a considerable margin. It was nearly 9.5 tenths last time. It's 1.4 seconds. Now Casper Nissen is really coming under fire from Armand Hamilton, who looks to go for the inside, through out of turn 3, and he gets through. Launches the cart out of the corner, gets the traction, gets the bite from the Mojo rain tyres, and that cart gets slingshotted through out of turn 3. He's going to get the outside run. He's sideways coming through out of turn 6. And then all of a sudden, Casper Nissen and Krit Knoren get through on the run down the Jutterplan and into turn number 7. There's Max Cuthbert just behind them. And Nissen makes it, well, has a lot of steering correction to do through turn 8. So Hamilton gets through on the inside. As Knoren sideways under braking into turn 10. The left rear just going outwards as he tries to control the kart. So Max Cuthbert rounded out the top 15 on the start phase of this race. Now he's in clear contention for at least a top 5 finish. And now he's going to go for the move up onto the inside of Casper Nissen. Cuthbert is through for 7th place into turn number 2. That was brilliantly done by the 234 from JJ Racing. Kasper Schürmann has now extended his lead. He's put in another fastest lap of the race, and he was 7.5 tenths of a second quicker than Mika van der Pavert. And in the meantime, Matej Radenkovic is improving on lap time, so is Bo Louet. Louet's quite a considerable amount behind the lap time set by Kasper Schürmann, to the tune of about 1.5 seconds as things stand right now. A little bit further back, Danny Shields battling away with Signe Onbold from Denmark. And he started in 17th, now currently running just outside of the top 20, but he's been putting in his best effort he can. It's the first time he's actually raced at this circuit here at Karting Genk. These riders making their way through into turn number 10 and 11. Schürmann still leads, and the lead now is 3 seconds and climbing. The last 3 laps, Kasper Schürmann has been in the high 1 minute 11s. 3 laps ago, it was a 1 minute 11.953. 2 laps ago, it was a 1 minute 11.746, putting in the fastest lap of the race. And the last lap around on lap 5, 1 minute 11.832. So in terms of a consistent run of pace, Schürmann is clearly the one that has that mastered at this moment. So a few changes down the order. Lucas Sales has got past Batuan Kumas for 20th position. Signa Onbol and Molon Di Salvo now ahead of Danny Shields. And the three are 22nd, 23rd and 24th respectively. Luca Cullen and Kaz Tobin up to 26th and 27th, meaning that the 244 from the United Kingdom, Zane Quaker, now in 28th position. Shawman's again, another great lap time. He's one of a handful of drivers, apart from Knik Knoren, that have actually made it into the high 1 minute 11s. Knik Knoren this time just did a 1 minute 12.2. The previous lap to that was a 1 minute 11.9. But Shawman's did a 1 minute 11.806. So 3 laps where he's averaged, pretty much in the low 1 minute 11.8. That's incredible good consistency, and considering the fact that he's got a fairly clear track in front of him. So we're coming up to 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go on the timer, plus an additional lap. Tino Sidler is now having to fight at the bottom part of the top 10. Casper Nissen in front of him, and Ryan Bourguignon from France just behind as they come out of turn number 11. And Angie Celestin saying bon chance, Victor Galmiche. Victor is still running, you'll be pleased to know. Now there has been a change a little bit further up in the top 10. Knik Knoren has got through on Boulouette, who rounds out the top 5. And now the 2-2-4 from Dams Racing has got the 2-3-4 from JJ Racing, not too far behind. That is Max Cuthbert. And Armand Hamilton is there also, waiting in the wings. And now we've just seen the fastest lap set by Kasper Schurmans after 7 laps. 1 minute 11.342. That was nearly 1.2 seconds quicker than Mika van der Pavert, and the gap was 4.6 seconds. Schurmans crosses the line to complete lap number 8. And now Mika van der Pavert crosses the line. Puts in a personal best, 1 minute 12.1. Matej Radenkovic now goes into the 1:11. So does Knik Knoren. Boulouette's about 0.6 of a second away from that barrier. So a few more drivers now really picking up the pace. Armand Hamilton now in the 1 minute 19.9s. As a little bit further back, looks to be that Glenn Schwillens is up into 13th place. Timo Jungling has made some strides forward, and he's trying to get through on Kieran Bartenstein, who's in 11th, started 6th on the grid. Timo Jungling started 21st. Glenn Schwillens started 26th on the grid. So both have made significant inroads over the course of the last 10.5 minutes. So another lap completed, lap 9 in the books for Kasper Schurmans, and another 1 minute 11.8. 2 previous laps were in the 1 minute 11.3s, and now he extends his lead to nearly 6.1 seconds. As now Kieran Bartenstein running a little bit wide coming out of turn number 12. Nearly opened the door for Timo Jungling there. And Glenn Schwillens. Right behind him has got Ruben Verheyen, and Verheyen up the inside through, out of turn 2, makes the move stick before the apex of turn 3. Then there's Boris Maximov and Sebastian Koch. They're waiting in the wings for their own opportunity. And this has really become an enticing battle here between this quintet. As a move being facilitated. And I think that's just happened. That was Maximov, I think, on Ruben Verheyen. As someone went a bit off track, and that was Thomas Ingram Hill just behind in 17th position in the 2:27 from DHR. 60 seconds to go. Kasper Schurmans now has put in a 10th lap of racing. His lead was 6.1 seconds. It's now 6.5. And again, he's finding time. So is everybody else, but Kasper Schurmans has got a real confidence in his abilities in the wet weather conditions, plus also the kart underneath him. And now Timo Jungling looking for the move up the inside of Kieran Bartenstein again. And this time, the youngster from the UK makes it through. So Timo Jungling now up into what is 11th position. That is a gain of 10 places over the course of this race distance. 15 seconds remain on the timer, plus an additional lap. Kasper Schurmans very shortly will be making his way out of turn number 11, which he does now. Timer has expired. Last lap board seen, first of all by Kasper Schurmans. Looks over his right shoulder to see where Mika van der Pavert is, and van der Pavert is quite a considerable distance behind. It was 6.5 seconds. It is now 7.1. Getting at least between 4 to 7 tenths of a second advantage a lap is Schurmans. So Radenkovic is trying to close on in on van der Pavert. Took the best part of nearly 3 tenths of a second out of the 2:86 on the previous tour. So we're on to the 12th and final lap of this race. Schurmans making his way through the turn 7 chicane into the right-hand sweeper here at turn 8. It's a case of staying in the lead, keeping the lead, and then pulling away, and that's exactly what Kasper Schurmans has done so far in this race. He hasn't really put a foot wrong. One more corner for the 240 from the Netherlands to negotiate, and out of it he goes. The pre-final in Junior Rotax goes the way of Kasper Schurmans from the Netherlands, the 240 from JJ Racing. Good work by Mika van der Pavert to take second place, having started in 5th, with Matej Radenkovic starting 7th, finishing in 3rd. Knik Kroren doing a good job to finish in 4th, ahead of Max Cuthbert, who started 15th, finished in 5th. Armand Hamilton in 6th place, ahead of Boluet, Casper Nissen, Tino Sidler, and Ryan Bourguignon completing the top 10. Timo Jungling leads the gaggle of karts coming across the line right now in 11th, head of Boaz Maximov, Thomas Ingram Hill, Kenan Bartenstein, Sebastian Koch completing the top 15, Glenn Schwillens, Lucas Sells, Ruben Verheyen, Mads Larsen and Olivia Jonkers running out the top 20, Batuan Kumas, Marlon Di Salvo, Danny Shields, Sinja Ornball, Jake Menton, Luca Kulin, Kaz Tobin, Zane Quaker and Victor Galmiche all finish the race itself after 12 laps of racing.